Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and this time I wanted to review a documentary I just recently watched that I bought on two very solid, nice guys. Very down-to-earth, very nice. Always been nice to me. And for instance, Uncle Bill, or Aaron, or I'm going to be flip-flopping between like Uncle Bill and Aaron, CK and Wes. And for those who don't know, Dipit.com is a horror talk radio show. And they got a documentary made on them, which this cover doesn't, the lighting doesn't really do justice. Because this is a beautiful cover where you see CK and Uncle Bill and you see a bunch of people. Like you see Spielberg, Michael Bay, Eli Roth, Rob Zombie, John Landis, Lloyd Kaufman, just a bunch of people there. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. And I wanted to talk about this to give once again a shout out to those guys, to let people know about this. Because those guys have always been nice to me. They've always been kind to me, and they make a great show. You go to deadpit.com, www.deadpit.com. They have hundreds of free shows. And they have interviews with so many people. From John Carpenter to George Romero, from Tom Savini to Adrian Keene to William Lustig. I mean, the list is humongous. Many people from Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street films, Halloween films, like Sharon Zombie they interviewed. What was the other guy? Well, I had Lloyd Kaufman, Kevin S. Tenney, just tons of people. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They've gotten a lot of people. And actually, I was going to say, Uncle Bill actually sent me those two posters for free. I think because it was around my birthday or something. And so, no matter what I say, just so you know ahead of time, it's not because Uncle Bill bought things for me for free, which was nice of him. He didn't have to do that. I paid for this, my own money. I bought it, so it's not like, oh, wow, he's going to kiss the documentary's ass. I paid for it with my own money. I was not given it for free. And I must say, it's a really solid documentary. Basically, it goes with how these guys grew up in Kentucky and how they grew up, how they first got into horror films, how they first started the show, the horror talk radio show, which again, you can download for free, listen to free. Many hours of entertainment, info, excellent funny reviews that they're honest. Whether you like or dislike the movie, they're going to be honest about it. But they've always been cool. Have I always agreed with them with a review? No. But I agree with the entertainment value of them doing the reviews. As, even if you don't agree, it's going to be funny. But the upbringing in Kentucky, it wasn't quite what I expected, to be flat out honest. But it's not really in a bad way. What I mean is, I thought it was going to go this way, and it went this way. Let me explain. When you get into the film, they show a little bit of how, their first show, how, they've reached, they have fans in Australia, they have fans in Norway. But it's a lot about, and by the way, they got a lot of good reviews. An incredible documentary and the ultimate tribute. At its heart, this feel-good documentary is a story of friendship and family and how alienation from one group can mean acceptance in another. That's a topic they touch on. Honest, powerful, and brilliantly told. What was I going to say? It's really a lot about how, growing up, they're in this town that's pretty much on the outskirts of civilization. I don't mean any disrespect with that. I know the feeling. When I grew up in Iowa, I'm in Iowa, but more northern Iowa, literally the nearest towns you could pass through in 10 seconds. And And, you know, like, another neat thing they bring up is how a lot of people around the area were into hunting and fishing, and they were not fans of that. I know how that goes. I had to go taking on hunting, fishing, and I didn't like it. Because I'm like, why don't I just go to McDonald's? Okay? Sue me. I'd rather just go to McDonald's where it's already dead, they've killed it already, and add some fucking french fries to boot. Get some mayo. Please the taste of Mountain Dew. But you can relate to these guys, is what I'm getting at. What really makes this documentary work is these two fellas, CK and Uncle Billy, Aaron and Wes. They are sweetheart guys. You can just tell right off the bat. They have excellent chemistry together. And about how, when I was getting into it, it's more about how they've kind of, you know, in my opinion, they're celebrities. I mean, if you get a documentary made of yourself, I consider them celebrities. And they're the only celebrities I know. Unless it's people I've pissed off. Because I have pissed off a director, and I've pissed off a writer. Apparently, either the guy was brain dead, or psycho, or apparently pissed off the writer of the Thing prequel. At least they wrote it. I'm not message saying they were. So either they're brain damaged, or it was the writer. Probably both, because if you don't do a fucking prequel to the Thing, you are brain damaged. Also, I did piss off a director. Worth Keeter, the two shitty fucking Jeff Speakman films. I love Jeff Speakman films, but he directed two of the shittiest. I was honest. He got pissed saying, I went on to do Power Rangers. I'm like, you're still Worth Keeter's his name. It's this worthless Keeter, the Purple People Eater. Okay? That's another thing. So, that's my touch at a celebrity. But these guys, they've met and they've gone to conventions and they've hung out with directors and Tiffany Shepis, you know, horror film actresses. And to me, they're celebrities. And they deserve it. I'm sure they'd be like, I wish I had the money. If I'm a celebrity, pay me. But given what I was getting into, it's more about how they're kind of, even though I think it was celebrities, where they live, not many people know about it. But maybe for a good reason, because they're kind of looked at as a little bit like outsiders, because they like horror films, because the town is sort of kind of a Christian religion, as well as, like, I remember Aaron or Uncle Bill, I don't keep flip-flopping like that. Uncle Bill, Aaron, was talking about, he just had long hair, and how, you know, he did look that funny. I'm like, really? I don't know why I heard that. It just made me think of First Blood. You know how Stallone comes in as a drifter and is, you know, they don't like the way he dressed, and you look at him and go, what's wrong with the way Stallone's dressed? But then the fucking redneck cops won't leave him alone. It's like, leave Aaron alone. But and about how, like, there was this two things that bugged me. Lloyd Kaufman gets interviewed. I hate that motherfucker, because you see documentaries behind the scenes, like Texas Avenger 4. Citizen Tati, I saw a documentary behind that. The guy seems like a complete asshole. So many people fucking quit from the movies he does. And plus he's like, you know, oh, they shouldn't talk bad about Fangorian. They should go after Rupert Murdoch. And, you know, they're like, then he's also like, you know, I you know, promote these guys. I'm fine doing this documentary because we need more people. And I'm just thinking that in his head he's like, let me just make sure I get my Poultrygeist, my new film Poultrygeist. Let me make sure I get that right in frame. Let me get that right in frame. Wait, little to right? Oh, there you go, Poultrygeist right there. Okay, now talk. Who? Oh, the Uncle Bob and the Kansas. Oh, Kentucky, right. That's kind of how I get the feeling, but maybe I'm being unfair, but I hate Lloyd Kaufman. That and this tourist commission that they have in that town seem very creepy. Now, if CK and Uncle Bill know them, I apologize. But here's what I mean. Let me just show a little clip from this. This kind of sounded creepy to me.
My family back in the early 1700s, I have a large amount of cousins. Almost all the families are probably related to each other.
All the families related to each other.
Cousins, even if we're not officially cousins, you know, once you're in the family, you never get out. We're a very clannish group of people, I think. We stick together very well, especially against the, what we consider outsiders, which are not necessarily people who moved in here from somewhere else. The outsiders are more people who are transitioning our way of life. So we welcome you openly, and our hospitality is very full until you want to change what we do.
Now, maybe I'm just being mean, but that sounded creepy. It's like, I don't know if you ever remember the old film Freaks? One of us, one of us. It's almost like, it was creepy. Like, I was worried for CT Uncle Bill. I'm like, oh my god, man, they're gonna brainwash you. Get the fuck out of there, don't brainwash you. But that was creepy sounding. I'm like, we respect you until you want to change us. It almost reminded me of that Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, the Clan, where, remember that trailer to the prequel? Where it's like, you know, you let the wave the flames off. I don't know, that kind of creeped me out. I felt bad for Seeking Uncle Bill, but it's more about that